Hi, I'm Kelly Whalen. It's Friday afternoon, and I have a story to share with you. So, recently I was at my friend's house, and she was telling me about a book that's really helped her to declutter her home. And I'm always interested in being more organized, so I said, give me the gist of the book without me having to read the entire thing. And if you do want to read the entire thing, it's called The Art of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. But the gist of the book is that you're basically going to go into your home and hold each item in your hand and ask, does this spark joy? And if the answer is no, you're going to let it go. And so I've been doing that today. And I came across this one item, and I feel like it will always spark joy in me because I love the story of how I came to acquire it. And I feel like it was one of my first experiences with I guess, elevating my level of consciousness is a good way to put it. So I want to share it with you. So it was about 12 years ago, and I lived in New Jersey at the time, which is where I'm from. And I was living with my aunt and uncle in our hometown. And it was Labor Day weekend. And so for those of you that live in New Jersey or are familiar with the traffic on the Parkway on Labor Day weekend, you know how atrocious it is. And for those of you that have never been, it's basically the Parkway is the highway that runs from north to south, the length of the whole state. And on Labor Day weekend, it's like a mass exodus from New York City and from North Jersey coming down the Parkway to go to the various beach towns. And so myself, my aunt and uncle decided to go from our town further south to where my mom lived, which is Atlantic City. And so we are in this traffic on the Parkway, and it's just so annoying. And so at one point I get rear-ended pretty hard, and so I'm already annoyed about the traffic. So then this like immediately raises my annoyance 10 million times, and so I don't even pull over. Like, I just put the car in park and get out, and I'm already creating the stories about how this person's ruined my day. And I'm looking at him, and he's in this fancy black Mercedes, and so I create a whole story about what that means. And I remember looking at my bumper, and before I lived with my aunt and uncle, I lived in a city in New Jersey, and so my bumper was already torn up from all of the parallel parking, so I couldn't even tell what this rear-ending had done, like to the already scratched bumper. But I'm looking at it, and I remember weighing my options of how to respond, because part of me wanted to just like ream this guy out and tell him how much he ruined my day and make him pay for the entire bumper, and just really let him have it. And then the other part of me was just surrendered and basically said, you know what? And this is how I actually ended up responding to him. I said, you know what? I'm fine. You're fine. It's not a big deal to me. Like, I just want to get back in the car. I want to go. And I remember how shocked he was. Like, he couldn't believe that I wasn't going to put up a fight. I was just like, these things happen. Like, it was an accident. Obviously, he didn't mean to. And so we get back in our cars, and we're going a couple more minutes, and he starts flashing me with his lights and motioning for me to pull over. And so I do. And he gets out, and he says, I'm so surprised by how you responded. I want to give you a gift. He said, here's my name and number. Please call me, and I'll send you something. And so I was like, sweet. I didn't even know what he did, but I was all about presents. So the next week I get back to work, and I call him, and he gave me a web address to look up what he had, and it was called Magic Glass Decor. And so I'm looking at these items, and he said, pick out whatever you want, and this is how long ago this was, fax me what you want with your name and address, and I'll send it to you. And so I went through all of the things, and I ended up picking out this dish, because this dish is like sunshine to me. And so I wrote it down, and I sent it to him on a fax with my name and address, and a couple days later, I get this dish in the mail, and it made me so happy, because it represents our ability to choose, basically, in any given moment. Had I gone the other route of making him the villain and me the victim, it would have been such a longer headache of all of the things with insurance and stuff. But instead, I opted for the path of least resistance, I guess. And so it reminds me of that question of do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? So to me, it was I was right because he hit me. So he was responsible, but I wanted to be happy. I just wanted to get to where I was going. And so I chose that. and it resulted in this awesome gift from a place called Magic, and it's given me this constant reminder that we always have a choice in how to respond to things. And so that's the story that I wanted to share with you. I hope you love this as much as I do. And happy Friday and have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you soon.